In what could be a major step now in India-Pakistan relations, India plans to propose a mutual legal assistance treaty with Pakistan. The treaty will ensure that Pakistan will be forced to cooperate with India in the criminal cases. What's really to expect from that treaty? In fact, let's get in details from Aishwarya, who's getting us this exclusive news break here. Aishwarya, take us through the details. How really are we looking at this treaty now to operate?
Well, Deepthi, what we are being told that this is still in the formulation period within the MHA. What we are being told that the Indian establishment wants that all of those individuals who are wanted in crimes, though of a lesser degree, and have crossed over the border illegally, should be handed over, and that is exactly for what this treaty is being formulated upon. But at the same point of time, MHA sources are telling us that the biggest roadblock is going to be terrorism, and then all of those who are rather wanted in some or the other terror-related incidents, because India has already sent out a most wanted list to the Pakistani establishment, not of 1 or 2 but 20, ranging from rather Hafiz Saeed to Dawood Ibrahim, but the Pakistani establishment has not moved an inch regarding that. Thus, this treaty in the initial period will not touch any terror-related incidents. It will be of criminals of a lesser degree, say dacoity, theft and even murder for that matter. Thus, Home Minister, what we are being told according to our sources, feels that this could very well act as a pavement of relations, a pavement to the relations between India and Pakistan, as this treaty will just stand short of an extradition treaty between India and Pakistan. Once again, I would like to reiterate, all of those individuals who are wanted in any kind of criminal cases, though not that of terrorism, Indian government is rather trying to formulate this treaty so that between India and Pakistan there are at least more than a couple of hundred names which the Indian establishment has already handed over to the Pakistani government, that these are the people who are wanted by the Indian establishment. They have committed crimes in India and rather they have crossed border. This treaty will force Pakistan to hand over all of those individuals back, and then Indian establishment will reciprocate in the same manner. But the most important point of this will be, Deepthi, that terrorism initially will not be the part of it. All of those individuals who are wanted in any kind of terror-related incident, this treaty will not deal with them, because Pakistani establishment is not very keen on that. But Home Minister, according to our sources, feel that this treaty, if this goes through between India and Pakistan, it could be a pavement, it could be a start point of relations between India and Pakistan as far as the whole extradition process is concerned between both the countries.
All right. Yes, Aishwarya, obviously this sounds like a big step as far as Indo-Pak relations goes. I'm just going to come back to you. There is more breaking news on this story. Minutes after Times Now first reported on the legal assistance treaty between India and Pakistan, the Congress is hitting out at the BJP. They say that this is being done to divert attention.
Well, I think it's essentially an attempt to deflect public opinion once again. If you go into the rhetoric of the BJP over the past 10 years, they had been consistently saying that there cannot be terror and talks going hand in hand. Then you had the invitation to Mr. Nawaz Sharif going out, which sent a very wrong message to all the instrumentalities in Pakistan, including the permanent establishment, about the very transient nature of this government's entire rhetoric. So therefore, they have been consistently saying that Dawood Ibrahim should be handed over, Hafiz Saeed should be handed over. And now they've started talking about a mutual legal assistance treaty. So it is essentially an attempt to deflect attention, because the negotiations will be protracted. Ultimately, Pakistan agrees or does not agree. God alone knows. They have not agreed to the trade and transit treaty till now, though a similar template exists with Afghanistan. So I think it's ultimately an attempt to just deflect public attention so that people will not question them.
So that is the reaction you just heard from Manish Tiwari of the Congress. Let's return back to Aishwarya, who's been getting us all the exclusive details on this big developing story. Aishwarya, this is a real problem. How will the BJP get the opposition on board? Because remember, the Congress is already hitting out, saying that how come terror and talks will now go together because it's a BJP regime.
Well, that's right, but this treaty, Deepthi, it is still in the formulation period. What we are being told, it will at least require 60 to 90 days for the Indian establishment to rather work through it. Whether the opposition comes on board or not, we are being told that this is going to be conveyed to the Pakistani establishment soon enough once this treaty is rather formulated. But BJP would want, if rather they are able to get Congress on board on this issue, but then on the issue of talks with terror, Congress is rather hitting back at the BJP. BJP saying that this very treaty which they are starting upon, it could act as a pavement for relations between India and Pakistan. This is not going to be an extradition treaty, but it is going to start somewhere, because as of now there is no exchange of criminals between India and Pakistan. It is only before any kind of visit between India and Pakistan. It is only as a good time gesture when rather both of these countries release criminals in rather each or the other prisons. Thus this treaty will force Pakistan, and will also be rather binding on India to release or to rather hand over all of these individuals back to their country where they are wanted. Thus, this will not have anything to do with rather those individuals who are wanted in terror-related incidents, because Pakistan is not keen on that. The MHA understands, and that is a big roadblock to it. But again, coming back to the point, they feel that it has to start somewhere. As of now, it is at point zero, and they need to take the first step sometime or the other. So it will be a positive step between India and Pakistan relations. All of those individuals who are wanted in India and have crossed border to Pakistan, Pakistani establishment will be forced, and rather as they will be binded by this treaty, if this goes through, to hand over to India. Thus it will be a positive step between India and Pakistan relations.